stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
What are we, as investors, to do? Well, we go back to focusing on fundamentals. And while everybody is obsessed about the recession that's about to come and the inverted yield curve, the economy actually has hung in there pretty well.
Really hung in there really well. Yeah, this is unbelievable. They just don't stop it. They just don't tell the truth. The economy's in deep trouble, especially the banks. You know, everyone thinks the banking crisis is over. It's far from over. Because again, these banks, remember, these small banks, these regional banks, they're the ones that keep our economy going, not JP Morgan, not Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. They're global banks. They don't care about the startup business. And the startup business is the most important business in this country. It's the cornerstone. It always will be. That's where you get your jobs from. The small business. If you didn't have a small business group, like in your community, there'd be no community. Small businesses are everything. That's where the entrepreneurs are. But they don't care about that. Who's they? Congress. They don't care about small businesses. The president doesn't care about small businesses. Powell doesn't care. Or they wouldn't be doing the stupid things that they're doing, like raising rates. I mean, think about what they have done with these rates. They have now raised rates up to 5.25%, and they've done nothing to stop inflation, nothing to curb inflation. All it's done is destroying Main Street economy. This is crazy. And I believe we're setting up for about a 5 to 7% pullback in this market. And then we're going to have then you get in and buy on those pullbacks. But you got to wait for a 5 to 7% pullback. Then we're going to have a big rally. It's not going to make a new high. Then it will fail, come down, and we'll have about probably a 40% drop or more, maybe even 50%. They'll be later this fall. But it's going to happen. When you have a weak economy, and what is a weak economy? When your government isn't supporting your small businesses, but hurting your small businesses. You have a weak economy. They keep saying how great this economy is, and we're going to have this great soft landing. Everything's going to be fine. When you have a weak economy, and again, to identify a weak economy, it's when you have an economic growth that's contracting. So they keep saying how strong the economy is, but yet we have a weak economy, and it shows up in our economic GDP growth because it's contracting from 5% to now to 1.3%. What the hell is that? You're trying to tell us the economy is good? We're going to have a soft landing when we went from 5% to now 1.3%? Wages not keeping up with inflation? Not at all. You know that. Every day you go to the store, you get your paycheck, you go to the store on the weekend, there's nothing left. Go get some groceries, get some meat. And they're telling you everything's fine? Who's telling you that? The fake business network. People on CNBC and Fox Business and Bloomberg who get paid, $1 million, $1.5 million a year to sit these shows and pump out crap. Everything's fine for them, for Jamie Dimon. Corporate earnings. How could they say we have a strong economy when corporate earnings, the biggest drop in 2 years, and corporate earnings are their lowest level since 2021? That doesn't sound like a strong economy to me, or a soft landing. Or a president who's spending an average of $3 trillion. $3 trillion more than he's taken in annually. That's called a deficit. Deficits are the killer. It's a killer because from deficits you get inflation. And when you have a president who's sitting there spending on average $3 trillion more than he takes in, or spends 40% more annually than he takes in tax revenue, what are you, nuts? And the more they crush these small businesses, and believe me, they're going to crush them. These small banks are going to they're being crushed right now. Small banks are being crushed right now. Nobody cares about these small banks. It's always the global banks. You would think Congress, or the president and the Congress together, would slash expenses, start cutting the budget. But they don't. They don't. They keep spending, just keep spending. It's insane. They don't really fight inflation. Biden and Powell, think about it, 2022, they increased interest rates so rapidly from 0 to 2.5%. And each time they did that, they had a crash. They had a crash. 2018, a 20% crash. 2020, a 32% crash. 2022, a 24% crash. Each time they raised rates, they created a crash. And they don't care about the consequences. They don't care about the financial consequences. See, all they think about is spending, global. It's all they think about. And remember, the corporate CEOs, the big boys, the big corporate CEOs, they're taken care of. Those companies are taken care of, not the small business on Main Street. Small business on Main Street is getting screwed with new regulations every day. So they're more concerned. Think about this. Why would they have raised rates in 2022? Why would they increase rates from 0 to 2.5%? Because they're more concerned about political consequences of inflation than the financial consequences. See, they think on the financial consequences, they can bail out financial consequences, but they don't think they can bail out political consequences, the optics. So they're more than willing to screw people on Main Street, the worker, because, they can always go in and bail out the companies. But they don't bail out small businesses. They bail out the corporations. And the financial consequences were large declines in the market value of Treasury bonds. When they made that decision, think about what they did. They made a decision, Powell and the president and Yellen, they made a decision that they would destroy the market value of the Treasury bonds, the value of the mortgage-backed securities, and that, remember what happened? That caused 3 regional banks to fail. Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank, Signature Bank. In one day, they failed. Why? Because they raised rates, and they didn't care about the financial consequence. See, they thought, well, we got to take care of this politically. If we don't keep raising rates, and then every time they raised rates from 0 to 2.5%, they had another crash. 4 of them, 4 crashes. But they don't care about the crashes. They don't care about the financial consequences. It's always the political consequence. Now we're facing commercial real estate. Everyone's saying, these small banks, the regional banks, it's all over. It's all behind us now. Everything's going to be fine. No, it's not. We haven't even started. You haven't even felt the pain from these banks. Commercial real estate. These regional bank failures are far from over. Believe me when I tell you that. As a third of their loans are commercial real estate. What are you, nuts? Office buildings, restaurants, retail outlets. Think about this. Rising interest rates from 0 to 2.5%, now we're at 5.25%, guarantees defaults. A 5% increase in vacancy rate is a 20% decrease in property values of the commercial real estate. What are you, nuts?
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this. But it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Philsgang.com. What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. So, what we're seeing now is that they're doing everything they can to prop up these banks. All they're doing is propping them up. And now they're propping up the stock market, the S&P, and they're propping up the Qs, we'll call it the Qs. Not going to last. I mean, every time we had interest rates at 2.5%, 2018, 2020, 2022, we had crashes each time of between 20 and 24%, or 20 and 38%. Each time they raised rates to 2.25%. Now we're at 5.25%. And I keep repeating this every day to try to drill this in everybody's head. How can we be at 5.25% and the market's still rallying? When each time they raised rates from 0 to 2.5%, we fail. 3 times in a row. What's it, magic? No, it's manipulation. So they're manipulating the market right now. And how they're doing it is they're taking the bank failures and they're intervening, and they're doing another QE, but you don't know it's a QE. They're not calling it a QE, but that's exactly what it is. And they're taking money. All you hear is how they're propping the banks up, and they're doing another loan for this bank and that bank. No, what they're doing is taking a lot of that money and they're propping the stock market up. That's why the market temporarily is up 23% with an interest rate of 5.25%, Fed rate, 5.25%. And again, every time it was 2.5%, we'd have a crash. We'd have a crash. And the elephant is in the room is the commercial real estate. Not to mention the housing. Just housing alone is going to go bust. That's going to go bust. But nobody sees any of this. Everyone really thinks everything's okay now. Everything's behind us now. We're going to be just fine. But everything's been distorted. That's what people don't understand. Everything's been distorted. Just like from 2008 to 2022. When we had that rally, 1,400% in the NASDAQ, 368% in the S&P. I'm talking 2008 to 2022. That's distorted. Stock prices were distorted. Bond prices were distorted. Valuations distorted. Valuations are insane. Just like, again, every time we went to 2.5%, then the market would crash. You go right to 0%, and we'd have a rally. Again, everything's distorted. But you're going to have to pay for that. And we have some terrible headwinds that are out there. One is commercial real estate, and the other one is just homes. And more of these small banks, which holds our economy together, these small regional banks, are being destroyed. They don't care about these small banks. Matter of fact, the more they destroy the small banks, they love it, because then the big banks, the gangsters like Jamie Dimon, can go in and pick up all these small banks. He picks up all their deposits. He doesn't care about their real estate or any of that. He only wants their deposits because he hasn't got to pay for a customer. A bank customer, each bank customer costs like $5,200 to get a bank customer. Go and put a deposit, open up an account. Costs about $5,200 to get a customer to do that. They get them free. The government gets them free. So the government's not there helping these small businesses. The government's not there helping Signature Bank and First Republic and Silicon Valley Bank. They're not helping them. They're not fixing them. They're keeping them alive so that Jamie Dimon and guys like him come in and pick the bones and pick the best assets and leave the trash for you and I. We take out the trash, see? And then not only do we take it out, we have to pay for it. We, the taxpayer, we pay for it, while Jamie Dimon gets more wealthy. This is what's going on in this banking, and this is all going to blow up. There's so many regional banks right now that are in trouble. There's 340 banks right now that are upside down. Do you hear anybody talk about them? No. They're not going to talk about them. So the stock market is really struggling here. We're right where I keep saying this every radio show and every podcast. we're right where we were 2 years ago, and that's okay? That sounds like we're going to come for a soft landing. We're right where we were, exactly where we were 2 years ago. And the rally that we're in now, the 23% rally off that October low, everybody says is the base. We're doing that rally on a rate of 5 1/4, and it's soon going to go to 5.50, then 6, then 7, and you don't think the market's going to crash. Even though every time the market went to 2.5%, it crashed. It's insane. It's insane. So you got to know what you're doing in this stock market. If you do, you're going to make a lot of money. If you keep on chasing these same 5 to 7 stocks, which people are doing every day, you're out of your mind. The most dangerous stocks right now is those 5, 6 stocks. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta. They're so dangerous because people don't know what they're doing. They're jumping in. You know how many people got caught up with the buying the dip, buying a dip, then they lost all their money? Well, that's what's going to happen now. So you're buying stocks right now where the S&P is at, let's say, 434. I'll use SPY, 434. And you're buying a stock right now that's in the S&P, or you're buying a stock that's in the Qs right now. Even though the rates are 5 1/4, you're in there buying. What, you don't realize the market crashed in 2018, 2020, and 2022, when they went to 2.5%? So get ready to sell short. It's all right if you buy. We're buying, but guess what the difference is? We're buying as the interest rate's at 5.25%, but we're going to make money in that interest rate rally, and then we're going to turn around and we'll catch it going back down when the market crashes again, and it's going to crash. We're going to get one more crash. We're going to get a 7%, 5% pullback, and then you get that one big last rally, and then it's over. There's no more fuel. And that's when you're going to take out the low that we had back in the 2018, December 26th, that low. But people don't want to believe that.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, you know, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast. YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this. But it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, you think about it, we have a market that's just barely holding on. And the only reason why it's holding on is because the amount of money they put into Apple and Microsoft, which started last week. They put $15 trillion into those two stocks because we have a 5.25% interest rate, which would blow this market up. By putting $15 trillion, they intervened by putting $15 trillion to two stocks. Then those two stocks are holding this whole stock market up. It's only going to be for a while, and then it'll finally collapse. So this market, the way you make money in this market is make sure you stay what we call power stocks. These are stocks that are making new highs every day. And if you join our gang, we'll show you what these are and how to use them. So if you have a power stock and there's no sellers above you, and every time your stock goes up, it goes up into a new high with no selling force above you pushing you down. Like if you have a stock, let's say, at $80, and the high was 130, well, between 80 and 130, that's all kinds of pressure. Every time you buy a stock, okay, it goes up, and you got all these sellers sitting there, people who bought wrong, and they're sitting there saying, boy, if I just get half my money back, I'm going to be in good shape, I'll sell. So if you're in a situation in a stock that you're at, let's say again 50, and the high was 100, and let's say you're even at 85, you got a tough road. Because how are you going to get from all these sellers that are above 85 to 100? How are you going to get rid of them? You need liquidity. There's got to be a tremendous amount of liquidity in the market. And every time they push more liquidity in the market, more inflation. And that's why they can't fight inflation. They keep on putting more and more liquidity into the market. And then to get that liquidity out, they have to raise rates. And if what really gets me is when you look at those banks that collapsed, they didn't give a damn. And think about how they collapsed. Those three banks, when they collapsed, it was only because, and who forced them to? Who made them collapse? Powell and our president, their monetary policy. So that monetary policy they had, they kept on raising rates, and they didn't care about the consequences to these banks. They really didn't care. They didn't care because remember, all these banks were sitting there with these treasuries and sitting there with mortgages, these called mortgage-backed securities, and when they went in, Powell and Powell and Biden went in to raise rates to fight inflation. They wanted to be seen as the inflation slayers. They didn't care about these banks. They knew these banks would fail because they knew if they went in with their monetary policy and they kept on raising rates, that these banks, that the bonds they were holding would become almost worthless. Mortgage-backed securities become almost worthless. But it didn't matter to them. They sacrificed them. They didn't care. They didn't care. And that's what put our economy now in such a bad position because the foundation of our whole economy is these small banks, just like small businesses. I mean, think about it. How crazy is that? They didn't care. So in other words, they're sitting there, right? And they're going, okay, in 2022, let's fight inflation. So they quickly went from 0 to 2.5%. You don't think they said to each other, Powell and Biden, well, wait a minute, if we go from 0 to 2.5 so we can show everybody we're fighting inflation, we're going to be destroying Silicon Valley, First Republic Bank, and Signature Bank. Because remember, those mortgage-backed securities that they have and the market value of the treasuries they have, we're going to destroy those by raising rates. They didn't care. They had more concern about the political consequences of not fighting inflation, the optics. They said, don't worry, we can't fix the political consequences, but we can certainly fix when the banks crash. We can fix that. We can bail them out, print more money, just bail them out. Who cares about the inflation? And another thing, not once do they go and they stop these companies. You think about these big companies. They're making all kinds of money, okay? And remember, when they're raising their prices, they're not raising prices to meet expenses. They're raising prices to increase profit. I'm talking about large corporations like Heinz and the rest of them. So these companies keep on raising their prices so that the more profits come in, the CEOs can go and do more stock buybacks, take out more options. So when they do buy their own stock buybacks, they have options. When the stock price goes up, they make a fortune. That they don't care about the consequences that the guy goes to the supermarket, the gal goes to the supermarket, and he's struggling at the supermarket because of the prices. So these large corporations like Hershey and all the other big boys, Campbell Soup, they keep raising these prices because they can. Because remember, there's a handful of companies that dominate each market. So there's like 5 companies in the soup, 5 companies in the hamburger, whatever. And they get together, and it's easy for them all to agree to raise their prices. And these are the people who fund our politicians. These are the people who fund their campaigns. Now, it'd be one thing if they're taking these profits, raise the prices, then take those profits and plow them back into their company as business investment to increase productivity, to increase wages, to increase jobs, to increase more spending, more consumption, to increase the standard of living. But no. Nobody benefits except them. Just them, the CEOs and the biggest shareholders. So they continue to sink more and more money into these stock buybacks, and they mask it. And the company worker gets screwed in the company. So they use the cover of inflation to justify price increases when they're screwing you at the supermarket. Oh, it's inflation, we got to raise prices. Well, if they're going to put all kinds of regulations on small businesses, 260,000 regulations. You think there could be one regulation that somebody goes over to Hershey or somebody goes over to Campbell's Soup and say, okay, let me see what you got going on here. We want you to make a profit. We want you to make a profit. No question about it. We're not here to run your business. But at the same time, the country's in trouble. We have to all stick together here. So I just want to make sure you make all the profits you want. But if you're raising these prices and you're telling us you're raising them because of inflation, but I find out you're lying to me, you're not raising prices because of inflation. You're making more than your standard profit. Much more. You're lying to me. It's not doing. It's out of greed. Because now the more profits, you the CEO, you take out more options, and then you do your stock buybacks. And your salary's $20 million a year, and you pick up another $15 to $20 million off of your stock options. That to me don't seem right. I'm not for setting prices, but somewhere along the line, you got to help those who need help, right? I mean, the people who are hardworking families, the combined income of between $45,000 and say $65,000, why should they get screwed? And being used over inflation. When it's not inflation, why they're raising their prices. Boy, things are screwed up. That's why I'll show you how to make money with stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com. Warning, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial. to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hey, good afternoon, gang. It's Steve Celeste here with philsgang.com. Just wanted to tell you how to get engaged with Phil's Gang and how to become part of the Phil's Gang membership or how to try us for 10 days free. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's www.philsgang.com and click on Get Started at the top of the website. Click on the big red banner that says Working Investor 10-day free trial, and that's all you got to do. And hey, while you're at the website, why not stop by our gift shop, see if there's something in there for you or for somebody you know. All right, thanks, and back to you, Phil.
Okay. Steve, very good. Listen, the market, if you just put yourself in a position where you can divorce yourself from all this kind of crap. Here, listen to this slide right here. This is unbelievable.
Real income is actually starting to go higher because inflation is coming down. Real income.
That's a total lie. That's not true at all. We are now in our 25th consecutive month of wage declines. 25th consecutive month of wage declines. Are you kidding? Unemployment is at a 4-month high. 3 out of 5 workers are working these lousy part-time jobs with no benefits. What is she talking about? None of that's true, what she's saying. Wages are at 4.3%. Inflation's at a little more than 5%. And listen to this.
And manufacturing, well, that's not the great part of the economy. But if you talk to companies and not look at kind of the government data that comes out, you actually hear a lot of momentum on the onshoring.
Yeah, just cherry pick. Look at the stuff that looks good. Pick out what you want to make you feel good. Well, that's what they do every day on CNBC and Fox Business and the rest of them. That's their job, to make you feel good every day. Every job, every day, they're there to cheerlead you. Yeah, just pick out the stuff you want. Look, the best way to make money, okay, believe me, in the market, and we do this every day with our gang members. First of all, most people, almost 99%, are looking at too many stocks, following too many stocks. That's crazy. You always listen to some hot stock on TV, and then you follow it and you make money, especially when they tell you to buy it on the pullback, buy it on the pullback. Oh my God, how many times have you lost money buying on the pullback? More than you can count, right? So if you just stay, you pick a good bank. Just take one major bank, one of the 5 biggest banks. We have J.P. Morgan. Take the top tech stock. That's Apple. Take the top oil refinery. That's MRO, Marathon Oil. Boeing, an industrial, top industrial stock. And then take one of the top box stores. And that represents the economy right there, pretty much the economy. It's all you need. And then build yourself a little bonus pool. And we have for our gang members a bonus pool. And in that bonus pool, we break it down where we have Microsoft, Apple, Meta, NVIDIA, and Amazon. We took the 5 top tech stocks. Then we took the 5 top banks. J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo. Then we took the 5 top discretionary stocks. So that's our bonus pool. So that's our world. We stay with our 6 stocks, 2 ETFs, which we're always in the Qs and we're always in the spiders. Then we have our 6 individual stocks, and then we have, as I said, our bonus pool. That's all you need for stocks. You don't need any more than that. You don't need a hot stock. What you need is to learn how the market works. You need to understand which of those stocks do well with yields going up. You got to learn how to understand the yield market, the bond market. And so which stocks do well with yields going up, which stocks do well with yields going down. And then you learn how to sell short. So it doesn't matter how they screw the economy up. So when Biden and Powell got together and decided to raise rates, and they knew they were going to kill these regional banks because 2 years earlier they gave them permission to go out and purchase treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, and they went and got permission because they wanted to make sure if they were going, they didn't want to buy these, and then all of a sudden the Fed starts raising rates, and exactly what happened, started to raise rates, and these banks lost their butt. And then these 3 banks, the first ones that failed, and there's about another 340 banks that are ready to fail. But what they're doing is they're taking those 340 banks and they're printing money, okay, to prop these banks up so they got time where they can sell the pieces of these banks off to the 5 or 6 largest banks, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. So that's what they're doing. And then they also take money from all that printing while they're propping these banks up, while they take the good stuff out and leave the garbage. And they take more money out of that pile and they prop up a stock market that has a 5.25% interest rate that should be crashing right now. Because every other crash since 2008, as soon as you get to 2.25, we crash. But this time, for some reason, at 5.25, the stock's up, the S&P's up 23%. That's ridiculous. It's been engineered to do that. And I told you why. They put $15 trillion into 2 stocks, Apple and Microsoft. But if you just stay with those same stocks, or if all you did was just learn how to go short and go long just with the Qs and with the spiders. If that's all you did, take those 2 ETFs, learn how to go long and learn how to go short. That's all. And you stay with those all year long. The minute you get bored, you're making money. That's how this business has always worked. When you get bored, you're making money because you're doing everything right. Because you're not running around looking for this hot stock and look at this, what's this guy saying, and what's this guy saying. No, you take the best of the best. And that's what we do here at Phil's Gang. And then you monitor them. And you can anticipate what they're going to do before it does it. And then you start identifying the money. Is the money coming in to the S&P and the Qs, or is money going out? Or is there more money going into the spiders, or is there more money going into the tech stocks? And it's you don't have to go through reams of documents. It's a simple color-coded chart. Every day we take a look at what we call, we want to know where there's more money. Is there more money in growth stocks, or is there more money in value stocks? How many of you check that in the morning to see if there's more money in growth stocks or more money in value stocks? I bet very few of you do. And then the other thing is, one of the bonus stocks we have a group we have always the airlines, a couple of airlines, and we always have the cruise lines. We've always done well with those because when yields start going up, everybody gets happy and they all start booking flights and booking cruises, and that's when you make money. And we did CCL. That's terrific. We made, I think, 20-30% on CCL. Now the big deal is going to be oil. Oil was at $125. Now oil is less than, $65. The rule of thumb, and it never fails, your rule of thumb, when oil drops by at least 35-40%, it always will stop, turn around, and run right back up, at least 3/4 of the way back up. May fail again, but the shorts will always come in, the big institutions. So if you're shorting, the big institutions are shorting oil. And let's say it's Schlumberger, or let's say it's Conoco, and they're shorting that stock. And now it's down more than 35%. You can count on a big rally. And all you need to see, and our charts do it, the Pro 2 does it, it will turn a color, it will turn green. Or first, before it turns green, it's red, telling you do not buy it. And then all of a sudden it'll start turning yellow, telling you, whoa, wait a minute, they're starting to bring more money in. And then when it goes from yellow to green, then you know it's time to buy that stock. You follow the money, you don't follow the BS. And the fundamentals, they're gone forever. So join our gang, learn how to use our charts, okay, that work with your charts, our Pro 1, Pro 2, and you'll see what a world of difference it's going to make. What a world of difference. Then you don't care what the market's doing, what Wall Street's doing. Who cares? We make money either way.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.